One, two, three. All right.
Nate, you gonna do your welcome thing?
Welcome to Nailed It.
That was lame.
Sorry.
We have a special guest here today, Caleb. He's another boss,
You can
former
also
boss
say
of mine.
hi. There's all the audio listeners.
I was
too.
giving him the intro.
I was being patient. I was
Okay.
waiting for him.
See?
I'm
He
Caleb.
understands cues. He doesn't interrupt. Dave?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me, Caleb. Me here.
Yes.
Alright,
Yeah.
cool.
So, we're going to get this done first because it's been a week or so in the making due to a bunch of complicated issues. E3. We're talking about it right now.
First of all, I would like to blame Nate for the reason why we didn't have the podcast before. And this is the reason. Because Nate did the booking for... We were supposed to record on a Monday. And Monday didn't happen. Monday got switched to Tuesday. Then it got to switch to Friday. And then Friday didn't happen. So we set it up for the next week. Next week didn't happen. So now we're at this point where we're really far behind when we were supposed to do an episode when we already had one scheduled for the last week.
Nate, if you want to swing, you've got to get a proper arc and just twist the whole body.
I was just thinking just
Yeah, that works too.
You'll lead from the hips.
Now, some people could
First
say...
off, I don't recall the
hold
Monday.
on.
No,
Hold
I don't
on.
recall
Some
Monday.
people could say
And
that
nobody
it was
called
Michael's
switching
fault.
to the Tuesday.
But I'm going to blame Nate.
Yesterday, no, what's today?
It's
Thursday would have worked just fine.
Because Michael is innocent as a lamb.
That's not true.
So-
you know that. That is not
I
true.
was
You
able
know
Thursday.
Mhm.
You were able Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Michael was able Thursday
Right?
until
that. A
a
family problem.
life event happened that took Michael out of the equation.
I feel like that's a lame excuse.
For who?
So
For
that's
Nate.
Nate, I'm on your side for once.
Appreciate it.
So
Why can't
Wait.
you have better control over Michael's life?
Yeah. I feel like you did bad booking. You expected Michael to show up, and you expected Michael not to have a life-altering problem. What is wrong with you?
I hate you so much right now.
Why?
I know it's a bit, but I'm getting angry for him because your rationale is dumb and stupid, and I hate it. And
So,
I like how Caleb immediately jumped on the train.
so I feel like
Came
what you're
first to the
saying,
max.
what you're saying is, I'm right.
No,
Nate, apologize.
never right.
I
Nate,
know.
don't apologize.
Well, if Nate has this level of control, he's omnipotent, so we shouldn't be angering him.
Right?
All I
I'll
have
play
to say,
both sides and see what you're doing.
That's a good idea.
we didn't miss much. So
Yeah, it's true. E3 was pretty nasty this year.
What? E3 was amazing.
Are you like lying to yourself like that?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I bet you do. So the main things that came out of E3 that mattered to me.
So wait, we're going to talk about E3 now, and we're just going to gloss over Nate's whole statement.
absolutely because I feel like he is not in the wrong, Mr. I like to place the blame on everybody.
All right.
Just because Michael has a child doesn't mean you get to play devil's advocate.
Yes, I do.
Not at all. It's not, you're not the godfather.
We should get the child in here to explain the situation.
Yeah. Baby, why do you have issues?
Because his parents have issues. He explained it to us.
Okay. Not good enough. Nate,
Oh my God.
apologize.
Anyways, E3. The main things that came out of E3 this year that really interested me was specifically just the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, that was the only thing out of anything that came out.
Really? I find that very fascinating.
Do
that
you know?
You would think that Final Fantasy was the only important thing. What have you been doing lately?
Been playing Final Fantasy. What are you going to do, fight me?
No.
You're right. Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers is amazing, and I will get there. But not now.
Okay.
It's E3 time.
All right.
7 Remake looks amazing. They changed the voice actors from the original crew that they've been using for years, which people were getting angry about, and they were once again trying to sign a petition like it does anything and get the original voice actors back. I'm doing light.
I can still hear it.
Stop having supersonic hearing. Yeah.
No, I can't. When you're amazing like this, you have supersonic hearing, that means you just have it. You can't just stop it. You can't just turn it off. It's something you just got to go with.
What?
And you have super non-hearing.
You're right. It's an ability that I've used for years.
It's
Great
true.
responsibility.
Yeah, with great power comes great irresponsibility.
Speaking of supersonic, Sonic posted a picture of the renewed Sonic
What?
for
Did they?
the movie. Yeah.
Did they?
I need to fact check.
Yeah, you better.
Are you sure that it just wasn't like a artist rendition of it?
Because there's
Oh,
been
might
many
have.
of those.
It might have.
There's been a lot.
Okay, it might
Like,
have. I just saw it.
There have
couple
been
days
a
ago.
lot of good people that have made it look like OG Sonic, and then you have those specific people out there that are really into Sonic, especially the gender bent Sonic, and
The
gender
ginger
Bent?
ginger bent.
Yeah, here we
Ginger
go.
snaps.
Yeah.
Ginger snaps.
Oh God.
I'm a big fan of Sonic looking like an actual hedgehog with real human legs.
Why?
I think that would be amazing if we could do like the baby legs thing, like from Deadpool, and put it on Sonic. That would be incredible.
Or like, I'm assuming most of you have played like Fallout 4, right?
Yeah,
Some of it,
yeah.
Okay, did you guys ever play the Automaton DLC?
No.
Okay, so in that DLC, you can like tweak out your robot companions, and the best thing that you could possibly do is your guy Codsworth and your big floating ball dude. Take away all of his arms and just give him normal legs, and so he's just a ball with very ladylike robot legs prancing around your settlement doing nothing.
That's awesome.
That is a morale boost,
Is it?
and if I could have that in real life, I would. I would sell my soul for that.
Interesting. I might work on that. I could use for an extra soul.
You guys heard it here first. Dave is in fact the devil.
Whoa!
Dave's the devil and
Whoa.
Nate's omnipotent.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is soon upon us. Sorry, the apocalypse. I didn't. Wrong religion.
No, it's too late.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, E3.
That's all I cared. Oh, and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that was so my most anticipated game that I wanted to see something on.
Right. Cyberpunk. Right.
2077. They released a little gameplay trailer. Not really gameplay. It was a trailer. I mean,
Yeah, it
it
wasn't
kind
really a
of.
CG trailer.
But at the end, so Keanu Reeves is the one that introduced it, and then at the end, his character shows up,
Right.
and everybody was like, "Well, okay, is this just like a thing, or is he going to be an actual character?"
Right,
Supposedly, he's an actual character in the game.
What is
He
wrong with
plays
you
it.
guys? Why do you keep tapping on the table?
The
Both of
table's
you.
asking for it. Don't tell me how to live my life.
It's just a
Right.
Don't hear its voices.
Confirmed.
Yeah, see, it's just wood. It's interesting because the character that he's playing is actually. I found out that Cyberpunk's actually like a tabletop game.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know that until I looked it up. And the character that Keanu Reeves is playing is one of the main characters, like NPCs, that is in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have seen a thing about the tabletop game, but I just didn't know that they were connected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know which one came before.
The tabletop game. The tabletop game was made in like
88.
88.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so the creator of that game is helping with the actual video game project.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that game. There's so many tabletop games out there. I can't keep up with them.
I don't want to say that they. I think they came out with the release.
The release date?
Of it's next year, middle of next
Yeah.
year, April of next year, or something like that.
So the Cyberpunk, when they had the Keanu Reeves thing, I was wondering, is that just I was wondering, probably what everybody else was thinking, is that his character in the game, or is that the depth in which you can create your own character?
No, just his character. 'Cause it looks just like, I mean, having Keanu Reeves in that game is kind of big. Because honestly, if you're thinking about Cyberpunk things, they could either went with something from Blade Runner or something from The Matrix.
Right.
And they went with something from The Matrix, especially because Keanu Reeves is big right now, especially with John Wick. So I think it was the right marketing move.
Right.
Versus Cyberpunk, where they could have got Harrison Ford or Ryan Gosling, depending on how much you like the newest Blade Runner.
Still haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, see?
It's amazing.
But it's like, if they're going to pick anything, pick something that the 90s kids would, or anybody that loves Keanu Reeves is going to love.
Right. He's because we were talking before about how you cannot love The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, whichever one. I still go with The Rock. Anyways,
Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Rocking the I can't speak.
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne Johnson. Wait, hold on, got it. I rocked the. No, not gonna go with that one.
Okay, so to confirm, they have not fixed Sonic yet.
But Keanu is along the same lines where you just cannot not like
He's
him.
one of the immortals, so he's allowed to do whatever he wants.
Him and Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox is not immortal. That man is aged.
He's just started.
Did he?
Yeah, like until recently, he looked like his character from Back to the Future.
All of his problems are internal. That's where he's deteriorating.
That's very true.
If I had advice from Michael J. Fox, I would just say stop deteriorating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no.
He has a shaking issue. He literally can't stop.
I think that's the point of the joke. Things are funnier when you explain them. I know. Besides that, there wasn't really a lot at E3 that seemed interesting besides Final Fantasy VII Remake and Cyberpunk. Those were the two biggest things. Like, they introduced the new gears.
There was Breath of the Wild.
The whole 5-second trailer that has everybody and their mom speculating about stuff they don't know anything about yet.
Right.
I didn't
I
play
think
the
Link's
first
going
one.
to be in it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I don't think so. Zelda might be there.
The main thing that people are complaining, or not complaining about, but speculating about, is whether or not Ganondorf or Ganon, depending on which version of it, it looks like a Gerudo, so it has to be Ganondorf, was a good guy at one point, and also hot, so because that's what all the artists are drawing him as, with no shirt.
I mean, they'd be doing that anyways.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true. That's part of the whole culture of just
art.
No.
You sure?
Weird.
I can go. We can look up any type of form of art, and there will be a person with no shirt on in every single bit of it.
I doubt that.
Really?
Yeah. Look up some art on buildings.
What if there's naked people in the building? Does that count?
How do you see inside the building? Do you have extra?
They have windows.
I don't think so. It doesn't happen.
You clearly underestimate the boldness of the human race.
I do not. I definitely do not.
I mean, the Statue of Liberty is wearing a robe. I guess that doesn't really count as a shirt.
No, it's not. It's very true. Xavier.
Statue of Liberty is a building.
Thank you, Caleb. See, he got my back. Anyways, do you guys have anything specific?
Microsoft announced a new Xbox.
Announced.
Oh, that's what. That was the one thing I was going to talk about. Was that
They didn't announce
it's been
nothing.
so long.
They're gonna do it.
That reminds me of. So there was an episode of Better Off Ted again where they came up with a project that they didn't know what it was, but then the project got so big within the company because they would mention the project name. They would say, "Oh, this is Project Jabberwocky. Are you on the Project Jabberwocky project?" And they're like, "No, I haven't heard about it." Oh, it's the next big thing that's coming out. And that's how I felt about the Xbox thing. Like they were talking about it, they were just using buzzwords. So at the end of the show, they had to do a big conference on explaining Jabberwocky, what it is, but they didn't say anything. Basically, they used a whole bunch of buzzwords like innovative,
corporate
marketing, and just threw out a whole bunch of words. And then at the end of the thing, they said Jabberwocky 2029 or something like that. And I was like, that's how Xbox felt like, was they just threw out a bunch of buzzwords. Innovative.
Okay.
Fast.
Okay, so no, there's
runs
something to
faster than a cheetah.
There's something to that. So Polygon, which is an entertainment source and stuff like that explains stuff. They have a guy on there named like Brian David Gilbert, something like that. He explained like the basic process of going through an E3 event,
right.
And it's like I watched it before it happened, like before the event went down. Everything that he said, it's like have this, explain something fun, try and connect with the audience, wear something casual but it also looks professional with have a shirt with a blazer over it,
Right.
and explain use all these big corporate words. Don't show the item, and it's like he nailed it every point.
Yeah, no, that
I'll show you the video after this,
Okay.
but it's like he nailed everything. I'm sitting there, I'm just like laughing because they didn't announce an Xbox. They announced that they're making.
right.
There was no physical form there. There was nothing. They explained how fast it goes, what it can run at. They
Right.
didn't show me an Xbox. They told me that it has specs.
Right.
That's what
Right,
they told me.
but I can say right now I'm creating an Xbox and it's faster than the new Xbox that's
Really?
coming out, and it's going to blow your mind. It's innovative. It's intense. Graphics.
I'm already excited. I can't wait to see what you produce.
16K. Just gonna throw that out there.
Well, it's funny because Michael commented on that, and it was like, because it was, 8K.
I'm sorry, we're not talking about Michael.
Oh, sorry, Michael.
Okay. Anyways,
Anyways, he was like, well, by the time it comes out, we're going to be past 8K. It's like, what if we're past 8K by then?
right.
And then they kept using that keyword of no loading screens, faster load times, all this. I'm like, okay, what does that have to do? I mean,
Right.
oh darn, you have to load into a map.
And then people wonder
Right.
why. Right.
That's part of gaming is
People wonder why PlayStation decided not to show up.
Which was the most baller move, because it's like they've known for years that E3 is starting to die out, and so with
It's a huge spectacle, but
right it's
it's a time waster for them because they have to put all this effort into the production of the whole thing, and when they pretty much have and they're not going to really convince other people that are outside of the market now, outside of the PlayStation market, that they should buy their product. Basically, PlayStation's already got their in-house. Basically, everybody knows what's going on in PlayStation,
yeah
unless you are
under a rock.
right under a rock or you're like 6 and you're still trying to figure out which
The
system
thing
you want.
is that I was listening to Castle Super Beast, which is a podcast on YouTube with Wooly Wolves and Pat. They were talking about how ballsy PlayStation kind of is getting in a way,
Right.
where they're like the last console war that happened between Xbox One and the PS4. We're not going to count Nintendo because Nintendo's on their own wavelength. They do their own thing. PlayStation won that hands down. They didn't have to really fight. All they had to say is our console plays games, and they won that.
Right.
And that's what they did. But now it's to the point where Microsoft's like, they are legitimately becoming the Disney of the video game world. They are buying up studios left and right so that they can have everything.
Who, Xbox?
Yeah, Microsoft specifically, they bought up like at least 10 studios, and they showed off a whole bunch, like Psychonauts. Psychonauts 2 was something that got announced. I don't think it's getting a.
If it doesn't come out on PlayStation, I'm gonna
That's-
kill someone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Don't tell me that.
Because
Whoa.
Don't tell me
I'm
that.
not telling you that. I'm just saying you have to be prepared for it because they did buy up Double Fine, and with that, it's like, but Xbox.
You
is-
just crushed his
It
soul.
happens. But the thing is, Xbox has been doing, Microsoft specifically has been doing a lot of weird stuff. They're starting to do a lot of crossover play.
Right.
They've had a lot of talks where they were going to do crossover play with PlayStation or something like that. I think I heard something about that. Regardless, it'll be weird for them to buy up the studio but make it multi-plat. It'll be weird, but it's not like they haven't done it before. I don't think. It just depends.
Right.
But Microsoft, they had Cyberpunk on stage. They had Gears of War, which Gears of War 5 looks interesting.
It looks interesting.
It looks interesting, but I didn't play the other games. I think I would need Michael to explain more on that because I know he's played it. But the concept of the story looks interesting. Other than that, there was really nothing else I could think of.
So one thing that I have that I was pretty disappointed in is when Bethesda.
Let's do it. Let's roast Bethesda.
When Bethesda came out, and literally they pretty much announced all games that everybody knew about, or like Fallout 76. They had basically the battle royale.
Hottest take
Anything.
No, sorry. Just guys, we know that you guys are still playing Fallout 76. Talking to the one guy in the corner that can't afford any other games because he spent his life savings on this one game and hoping to get that tote bag.
No, it's the one guy who bought the game with bottle caps.
Yeah, you're right. And
Wait, Fallout 76 is still a game?
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of that bottle,
Loose definition.
but yeah. Sorry. Besides the bottle cap thing, did you guys hear the guy that was at the Cyberpunk event that told Keanu that he
Yeah.
was breathtaking?
Yeah, he got the collector's
He got the
edition.
collector's edition for free.
The problem with that is after he did that, it just like unleashed a whole chain of people trying to heckle during the other presentations, thinking that they were going to get free stuff, but they ended up just looking like fools.
It happens. It happens because there's always going to be that one guy that gets the thing, and everybody's like, "Hey, I want the thing." It's like, but we already gave away the thing. No, but I want it though. Anyways,
Isn't that what the whole community is
I think
based
he
on?
turned it down though.
did he?
I think he did.
Oh, that man is bold. I
You should
love
go work
him.
for Sony.
Yeah, but no, but back on Bethesda, the fact that Todd Howard had the audacity not to say that I'm sorry about this or any type of form about it, but it's just like we don't. You're telling us that you're okay with the way the game turned out, and not only are you not going to fix it, you're going to add a PUBG Fortnite mode to it where I don't want to play it anymore. Which, by the way, I heard that with that Battle Royale mode, it's going to still have NPC monsters that are going to run around and fight you while you're trying to kill other people. Which means that you can tap a character and they get smacked up by a death claw or some ghouls and you still get points. How does that work?
So the clip that I saw, it was like the last two of the round, and they were exchanging fire and whatnot, and this ghoul just runs on up on one of the other guys and just knocks him down, and the guy wins. And he was just like, "I'm done."
Hot suplex.
That's when you're like,
I think it's a great idea.
Are you really?
I think if you're going to kill a
It's a
game,
trap.
if you're going to kill a game successfully, do whatever you can to make it as worse as possible, where people don't even want to touch about it, and make it in a way that when people say the name, there's an actual disgust of people's faces that appears.
110% vitriol coming from the mouth.
well, and then they, like the weekend after E3 was like a free play for anybody.
Oh,
Like you
people kept picking that game up?
They just basically were try this mode out. You can download the
Yeah,
game,
but I thought you
play
could.
it.
I thought you could get that game now in like a box of like Cracker Jacks, or like is it at the bottom of cereal now?
I'm sure
Like,
it's
like if I reach down in the bottom, I can get.
I don't know
like
if you
Rice
can
Krispies?
make
I-
the game
I-
worse.
Still think that they're trying to push just like $5 more than Andromeda. I think it's like $25, not 20.
Stop tapping the table.
Sorry.
Don't you fucking point at me. Don't you fucking point at me.
But
I
this
hate you.
is where I got pissed off. So Bethesda, they announced.
Wait, what happened? And that's two.
You took mine.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
That's fine.
Don't
Last-
apologize.
Last year,
We
Bethesda-
used them all up now.
right before they announced Fallout 76, they did like a flyover of this map that looked like either like a new Skyrim or one of the other, I forget what game it's called, but they announced Fallout 76 and they announced the Elder Scrolls Online expansion or whatever. This year, they went more into depth on the Elder Scrolls expansion, the new Fallout 76, but they never even did anything on what that map was that they did the flyover on last year.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Why would they do that?
No, I mean, like, why would they go back to something that they were talking about last time?
Because
No, because it was like
It's illusions.
it was almost like, hey, we're working on a possible new Skyrim, or we're working on.
the thing is that
You don't know-
it's
Nate.
probably not ready.
Nate,
Like, if
there
they-
also
but-
could be a guy that just enjoys making maps, and they just wanted to show it.
One of the things is that it wasn't ready because I think didn't they announce that they were making a new Elder Scrolls last year?
Yeah, is that what you're talking about when they did the flyover for Elder Scrolls 6?
That's probably what you're talking about.
It was at like the very end of the Bethesda conference.
Um,
And that's all the information we have.
Yeah,
is
and
that
so it not being in this year because let's look at like again
so it
the
might have been, yeah, it might have been that.
Castle Super Beast mentioned something. There used to be something called the big threes, the big three Bs. That was Blizzard, BioWare, and Bethesda. Now, all three of those have a very tarnished reputation by this point.
Right.
But Bethesda can't keep their head above water to save their life, minus here and there a couple of things. What was it? Evil Within was alright. They have a new game coming out that's made by Bethesda. What is?
they do Wolfenstein, don't they?
They do Wolfenstein. Ikumi Nakamura, who was the lady at E3 that everybody loves, and she is awesome and deserves her spotlight. But they're making a game called Ghostwire Tokyo. That looks like something that's interesting that's coming out of Bethesda. But anything that's been like a former IP by them, it's just not working.
Right.
Same with BioWare. Is like ever since Andromeda, they have like suplexed themselves into a grave that is just infinite. Because, like, can you think of like they could be releasing a new Dragon Age, right? But we've heard about it. I don't think it's gonna work. I've said before on the podcast that I think Bethesda not Bethesda's, but BioWare can pull themselves out of the fire with Dragon Age if it's really good, depending on what team is working on it. Because Inquisition was alright. I didn't play Dragon Age 2, but I heard it was problematic. And then Dragon Age Origins was a fun game.
Right. So the longer they push something out, the more critical the people that are going to play it are going to be.
Absolutely, because people remember the bad, but they hardly remember the good.
Right.
Because like with the way Anthem dropped,
Right.
and with how they handled Anthem, it has tarnished BioWare's reputation.
Right. And it, in many ways, it's the longer between one game and the next creates a longer nostalgic feel.
You're right.
So that nostalgic feel, once you go into the next one, creates a huge critical bubble around whatever it touches.
Right. Not only that, but you have such a high expectation with that. It's like, and I've talked about it before, how like I've had the weird feeling going into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Right.
Like, yes, fans on the internet can correct me if I'm wrong or if you don't believe that I'm right. It's like, yeah, you didn't have to wait 13 years to get this sequel, but it's like, yes and no. We had games that were in between that were interlaced stories that made no sense with nonsense titles that told us about different characters than the ones we wanted to see.
Would you have been happier if they just came out with videos in between?
No.
You wanted something you could play.
The point is that they were telling us stories in an interlocking story that retconned itself like 18 times. Right. We get to the end, and not only did they wait so long that the main voice actor for the bad guy died, Leonard Nimoy, rest in peace, sir. Because like, don't get me wrong, this new guy had a voice actor that was all right, but he didn't have that impact. Like, once you listen to Leonard Nimoy be this bad guy, you're like, this is the pinnacle of evil. This dude is super bad. And then you listen to the new guy, he's like soft spoken, and I'm like, I don't feel threatened by you. And
did he at least try to redo the voice, or
no, does not sound anything like him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't try to recreate the voice.
I don't think you can. Like,
No.
can anyone sound like Leonard
No,
Nimoy?
Leonard Nimoy's voice was
Yeah.
his voice in that game was specific. It was old Spock. It was old Spock from that first Star Trek movie,
Right.
and it was like
Wait, which one?
The first new one.
the,
The first new one?
yeah, where he
I
goes
love
into the
new
time
ones. They're
nexus.
great.
I haven't seen the most recent one yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, no.
I mean,
Just
they're great.
the nostalgic value and the expectation value is high for something like that. Like between Fallout 4 and the 76, it created a huge rift because though Fallout 4 was good, some people still had some issues with it. And then going into this thing, it was like, okay, cool, we're finally getting our Elder Scrolls Online. You know, you go in there, no NPCs.
Right.
The community tried to keep it together by like, we can open up our own shops, we can set up a market, we can start our own hub town.
Right.
And, you know, which is cool. It's a really good idea, but it can't ultimately fix a broken thing.
Right.
It's just holding it together with bubblegum and some
Well, that is the whole community was in quicksand, and they're all trying to pull themselves out of it.
And you got Jeff over there wiggling, just like,
Right.
I'm afraid. It's like, Jeff, don't move, we can pull you. No.
No, they're all into quicksand,
Yeah.
and they're both going like, I can pull you up, and they're
Yeah. But yeah.
all
like,
just sinking.
and-
Everybody on the sidelines just watching.
Right. And then with Blizzard, oh boy, Blizzard, they're going through some stuff with their WoW players migrating over to Final Fantasy and other MMOs. The Diablo phone game that nobody wanted. And
Wait, there's a Diablo
They-
phone game?
at the last BlizzCon,
I want that.
which
I feel like I should
mobile
download
games
that.
need to die.
What?
Yes, mobile games need to die.
I'm gonna download Diablo.
So, just on that quick note,
Hot monster, hot trash monster.
a friend of mine posted something on Facebook. He's like, "Does anybody know of a good mobile game to download and play?" Just like, how much money do you want to spend? Because that's pretty much all mobile games are now. Is
Gotcha
a
titles.
small little game, but in order to do anything, spend money.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is probably the only mobile game that's like worth it.
Which one?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links.
Oh,
Oh.
speaking of mobile phone games, and here's going to be a favorite topic because he hates Nintendo. Did you hear about Pokemon Masters?
I heard about it. No clue what it is.
It
I
is
just heard the
essentially
title.
a 3v3 build your own super team of gym leaders and Pokemon Masters and just fight other people. And by other people, I mean other NPCs.
Not with Pokemon, but with the trainers.
No, with Pokemon.
Oh, well,
No,
I
it's
guess
just
I'm less
it's just
interested in
trainers against trainers, and they
There's
just
also
duel it
that.
out.
Fisticuffs, that's what
So
it is.
It is.
The, I don't know if
It's
it's who it's by, but it's a mobile game and it's
Pokemon version
Harry
of Fight
Potter.
Club.
I've always wanted to see
yeah.
So
Brock
it's like
and
the-
Brawley go up
Oh.
against Lisa and Tate.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
First off, you don't know.
I do know some.
You know first gen.
You can shut your
You're
face.
damn right. He was speaking. Harry
I
Potter
apologize.
phone game.
Wait, you were talking?
Yeah, shut up.
Whoa!
Michael. Shut up,
You
Michael.
grow balls, Nate. I'm proud of you. Be a man.
This is
So-
so harsh, and this came out of nowhere.
Really.
After I spent the whole first part complimenting you.
Okay.
See that? See what I deal with?
So at first I thought that it was, I thought that was almost like a new Harry Potter movie.
I'm sorry. I mean,
But-
you're not wrong. It's just not Harry Potter.
Right, there is a new Harry Potter movie, but you're right, it is not Harry Potter. But it takes place in the Harry Potter world.
Cool. Anyway, it's
Nate,
mobile game that
I'm
kind
very
of
proud of you.
When I speak.
is similar to Pokemon Go,
Uh-huh.
in where you have to, everything's like kind of in real life, like you're fighting.
Harry Potter, get him.
I mean, what are those guys called?
Death Eaters?
Pretty much any type of antagonist from any of the 7 movies.
Yeah, so you're
Some kind of black robed guy with light hair.
Yeah.
well, like a skeleton face with a robe. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Anyways,
it's Death Eater.
Death Eater.
But like, obviously everything's in real life, but it's so you're yeah. Yeah.
What do you,
Spill the obvious.
So you're doing that.
I was gonna say, I wonder how many people accidentally throw their phone, like the
Which-
old
Obviously, it
Wii
hasn't,
controllers that people were throwing into TVs.
it hasn't taken off that I've seen, unless it's not even out yet. But you would go to the grocery store and you'd see people on their phone like going like this.
Oh no, I
That's
still
what
have,
happened with Pokemon Go.
I
No,
still
no, I'm
have
saying
friends
that's what,
that
that's what you
Pokemon
saw.
Go. And I was
That's
just
what,
like,
when that
oh,
first came out.
that's
That's
cool.
what you saw with Pokemon Go.
Oh,
Like,
that's
see
what-
people going, trying to collect Pokemon.
That's what me and Michael did. We met up at a Winco while we were working, and before we went to our last store, we just walked around the Winco playing Pokemon Go for like 10 minutes.
How dare you?
We didn't care about Colombia.
Well, hey, don't mention names.
I'll cut it out.
You will not. You're
You're
too
right, I
lazy.
won't.
But I have not yet seen someone like yell out a spell and flip their phone like. So I'm waiting because
Those-
I'm assuming that I will see that at some point in the
I
near
don't think it'll
future.
be big enough.
Does this game interest anyone at the table?
No.
No.
I'll tell you right now, I will play that game if you can give me house elf fighting pits.
You're a monster,
Let me
dude.
bet real money on this.
Dobby's gonna take it. Just give Dobby a gun. He's a free elf. He wins.
You can't wear a gun.
Yeah.
That's not true at all.
Why would Dobby have a gun? He has a wand.
He has a sock.
Yeah. And he has a sock. What else do you need?
Well, Dobby's also
Anything
dead.
but that sock because I don't want to know what he does with it.
That's
Ooh,
hairy
that
sock.
hard silence.
I know.
Anyways, I still
The
think
hard sock.
I think
Yeah.
I think the mobile phone thing just needs to die. The
Yeah.
only reason why it exists is because of ease of access for people that don't
Mhm.
play video games and that are easily caught on that whale. By the way, did you hear that there was a situation that happened? I think where like E3 specifically got taken like to Congress, and they were telling them that loot boxes isn't gambling.
Oh, that was EA, yeah.
Is EA?
Yeah.
It's a surprise mechanic.
Mm-hmm. It can do a Kinder Egg.
Yes. So they were trying because like in real life, the boxes,
Right.
loot boxes, it's gambling because you're spending money to hopefully get something that may or may not drop.
Right.
Right. And the thing is, it's like mostly with children who, for some reason, the parent doesn't know how to lock their card,
Mm-hmm.
and they're spending $50 to get one item.
Right.
Akin to Nate when he got into his gotcha conversation about trying to get that baseball thing.
Right.
You know?
Sucker.
Right. And I won't lie, I'm terrible with that. It's like if I look at the bank account, think about all your bills, I think I can get that, I really want this. Let's spend a lot more money
Well,
than I
that's-
should to get it.
Saying anything's gambling because I can go to the baseball card shop and
That,
buy.
that's not gambling. It's different because it's totally different because you have constantly been given the money and you can go in there and buy it. It's like I don't feel like buying like a pack of cards is gambling.
I feel like it can be considered it because you don't know what you're gonna get. It could be a whole bunch of terrible players.
It's true, but I
Or
feel,
you
I,
could
I
get
feel,
that
I feel
one
like I feel like
back
a
in the
loot
day,
box
the one
specifically-
rookie.
I feel like a loot box specifically is rigged.
I would say a pack of baseball cards, you have a better opportunity of getting what you want than a loot box
You're
because
absolutely right.
they can
Ju-
like,
ju-
random generators
just
that
tell me it doesn't feel shady that EA can go ahead and say it's not gambling, it's a surprise mechanic.
I would
Does that
say
not sound like somebody trying to sway you on something?
I would say that is great lawyer talk when you're talking to a bunch of people that don't understand the internet. When I mean
You're not
honestly,
wrong.
like when what's his name from Facebook was put in front of the Congress and he had
Was
to
your man Zuckerberg?
yeah, Zuckerberg was in front of Congress. He had to explain what the internet is to them, because they're like, how do you access this? And he's like, he had the look of, are you kidding me? Like, why am I talking to you guys? So it makes sense to me that they would use that type of, because they don't know what they're talking about.
You're right, and they don't. And bringing it up to a group of people that don't know what they talk about is what it is. But the people that, quote unquote, have a brain that understand, like not even the young millennials of today or the baby boomers that kind of get what the internet's about. It's like we know this is a scam.
Right, but if there's a scam sitting here, and then there's all this content over here, why are you spending your money on the scam?
Well, you legitimately, like the way that's even set up is that you could just not have the loot boxes, let me earn money through games, and let me buy the thing.
I agree with you, but at the same time, who's falling for these things?
Everybody.
Right. So isn't that everybody's fault?
You're correct.
Okay.
Are we talking about real life loot boxes?
I think the is there real life loot boxes?
Well,
You mean like
yeah,
loot
like-
crates?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
We're talking like video games.
Okay.
It's mostly specifically, it's the angry parent getting mad because their child decided to spend money on something that they didn't know of.
Right, but so when it comes down to it, shouldn't the parent be being a parent and tell their kid not to do these things?
It's the year 2019. No.
Kids can parent themselves.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
true. I forgot about that.
Yep.
There's a whole thing on that.
Yep.
Kids parenting the parents. It makes more sense that way because the kids know everything.
Anyways, besides that, I'm pretty sure. Does anybody else have anything to say about E3?
Yes, we already touched on it in more ways than one.
Mm.
So my big E3 thing Psychonauts 2.
Oh my gosh! Stop.
Psychonauts 2.
We need to get like a pad thing
Yeah, I know.
or something like
I
that,
know.
so you guys can do your touch thing. Because I also want to do it too, but I have to restrain myself.
I use all my restraint by not
And
doing other
it's
things.
just
today.
one of the last audio podcasts. It was very noticeable that there was a
Yeah. We'll work on it. Anyways, I apologize for all the table tapping that's going on right now. Just
Yeah.
deal with it, and we'll worry about it later.
Because in the end, I would tap that.
Fuck you, David.
Whoa!
I just felt like my soul disappeared into the ether there for a minute. Anyways,
That's my life.
Psychonauts 2. So the original Psychonauts is my favorite game of all time. And if you want to talk about a long wait, I've been waiting nearly 15 years for this game.
Yeah, you have.
With nothing in between other than a really bad VR game.
Was it really that bad?
I'm just not the biggest fan of VR.
That's
so
fair.
even if it's good for VR, I'm gonna say it's bad. But yeah, I've just been waiting 15 years for this continuation. They did continue the story of the first game in that VR game, and if you haven't seen anything for the VR game and then you watch the Psychonauts 2 trailer, you're gonna be confused because characters who were supposed to be dead in the first game, who got brought back in the VR, show up again in Psychonauts 2. And that's kind of like where I was when I first saw the trailer.
Huh.
The shower cap guy, Dr. Lobato, in the first game, he falls off a building and, it's assumed that he dies.
You know the rules. Unless you see a body, they're not really dead.
That's true. And then in the VR game, he comes back and he's like, hey, I'm alive. How are you alive? Hey, I'm alive.
Love it.
But
Yeah, no. I've never been a big fan. I don't like the art style. And that's just me. And that's the only reason why I haven't played it, because I know that you have, like, on numerous occasions have told me to just get it.
just do it.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Tim Burton-esque art style. And this is probably just me being that back in the day, the black hipster emo kid that's like everybody and their mom is wearing Jack Skellington on their clothes. I hate you and the bands that you like. So
You mean Evanescence?
yeah,
Right.
yeah, bring me to life. So with that, it's like I look at the art style.
Wake me up inside.
Oh God, here we go.
I can't wake up though.
Oh, save me.
Little high five on that one.
Yeah, no. So with that, it's like I don't doubt it's a great game because Double Fine, like I think that was their first 3D platformer.
Yes.
And it hit with such a niche community and it has such a cult following that when this got announced, everybody's like, they're losing it. As soon as I saw it, I can hear you screaming from your house, and I was just here, and I was like, oh, yep, that's him. and so I was like, all right, so they're finally getting what they want, because I mean, not a lot of games deserve sequels. Some shouldn't get sequels. Some do get sequels. And I think this is one that should have gotten a sequel for how small the community is. It's like you can't make a sequel off of Shadow of the Colossus, but they did, except it was backwards because it's Ico and then Shadow of the Colossus. Ignore this point; it's wrong. But yeah, I'm glad you're getting your game.
I'm super excited. I can die in peace. The next thing I need is for BioWare to give me single player KOTOR 3.
It'll never happen.
I know. I'm going to be stuck in this purgatory forever.
The closest thing you're going to get to that is whatever this Fallen Order is, and it won't be the same ever.
They're going to announce it.
Or play the MMO.
They're going to announce KOTOR 3, and then BioWare's going to shut down. That's my prediction.
That would hurt. That would hurt real bad.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got anything else?
Well,
Yep.
the only other thing that I remember from the E3 experience would be the new Marvel game. And
I forgot about that.
I knew you did. And also the other big game would be Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. It's being made with 5e lore, right?
Yeah. I actually that was one of my favorite
D&D
games
top.
back in the day.
I played 14. I can't speak.
What?
I called you a nerd.
It was really satisfying seeing that guy turn into a mind player.
Good push. I am surprised you didn't have a retort to that.
No,
Usually he does.
I do, but I thought it's better if I don't say anything.
Again, play Final Fantasy. so buried under Kingdom Hearts lore it hurts. Yeah.
What's this I've been hearing about Final Fantasy 14 themed weddings that Square Enix is funding?
Oh yeah, you didn't know about those?
I just found out about
Quick
it.
tangent. So the Final Fantasy community in terms of 14 online is a huge community. Like we're talking like their fan fest that happen everywhere around the world.
Right, there's 6 or 7 people show up to that.
Like
Continuously.
1,000?
6 or 7.
Okay, you're wrong.
7 people show up to the events, but there's like 10,000 events.
Right.
That's what it is.
That's what it
Right.
is.
Yeah, but
And
no,
they show up 10,000 times.
It's to the point.
It's
'cause,
a full-time gig
oh
for them.
God, I hate both of you. No, it's just like because in the game you can get married, right? You can have a little wedding event and stuff like that, and you have an outfit. Males have an outfit, females have an outfit, and
What?
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, a couple of people in Japan started doing the themes, where like Square Enix just started like paying for it, and it looks like you're actually looking at a character from the game. Like everything with the wedding cake, with the actual dresses looking exactly like the ones from the game. It's all over the place. People in America are doing it now. The community it's really big. Like a lot of people care for each other with those communities. Like people have gotten married from that game alone.
Right. Nate?
Ubisoft announced a new Watch Dogs game, Watch Dogs Unity,
Oh, yeah?
or Legion. Sorry, Legion.
You're
No,
not wrong.
I was
with
gonna say
either
that
of those.
you were
It's
right with the
stupid.
first one.
Yeah, no, you were right with the second one. The first one just makes more sense. You can make anybody your main character.
Yeah,
That
it's-
doesn't make sense.
Even this
Kind
grandma.
of interesting, just because you can basically you can go around and you can
Those Grandma Jackson vehicles.
get anybody to work for your cause,
Yeah.
and then if they die, they're done, like they're completely dead. So it's kind of interesting to take that point of view.
So,
on that
wait,
game.
so this would be my opportunity to use people until they die?
You do that.
I mean, it'd be
anyway.
one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the opportunities.
One of the opportunities.
Um,
And then I can get practice for real life. That's great.
I feel like you have enough of that already.
What?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know what you're talking about. Don't go into
Well,
that back
into a
room.
false sense of security, and next thing you know,
And
you're
then
on a podcast.
it wouldn't be me if I didn't say something about Madden.
There was Madden footage.
Was there Madden?
No, they didn't announce anything at E3,
Oh.
but it was something that came out.
So you're just breaking this is an E3 pocket.
Well, it came out. No, like the,
Nate, you are breaking
it came-
protocol.
Hold on,
It came out
Nate.
at E3.
Nate, I need shake my hand. That was a flawless segue into something that you love. Nobody was expecting it. There was a hard left, and you went over the bridge anyway.
that was
Yeah.
crisp.
No, that was very
It
clean.
came out during E3, so I would guess. I mean, I don't know if they
Like
really
how-
announced
like-
anything.
When did it come out during E3? Like
Like,
before,
They're-
or like months
they-
after?
No, it came out in
In the week.
the week of E3,
Okay.
and they gave a certain amount of people.
You were
Like a
watching his
demo.
hands so hard, just want to slap him.
Don't hit me. They came out with demos for a certain amount of people to play the weekend after E3.
Is there anything different?
Yeah. So they came out with
Is there still tackling in the game?
yes,
Can you still run?
yes,
Can you pass the ball?
yes.
Can you laterally pass the ball?
I believe so. Yes,
Okay. Can you choose plays?
yes.
So what else is there to talk about? Oh wait, can you still kick?
Yes.
Oh.
Are there
man.
skins in the game yet?
Redskins.
Beautiful.
Whoa.
Beautiful. I
That
love
was a
that.
masterpiece.
That was good.
I take my hat off. Oh no.
Oh, that was good. Nate's on a roll today.
No, so they put in like certain key players have like abilities, so you have to do certain things, like complete passes, like 3 passes over 30 yards, to unlock like their special ability.
Okay.
So they've
Did
kind
this
of
turn
added.
into a character action game? What happened?
I don't know, but they added like these special abilities for players.
So it's NFL Street. I can get NFL Street back.
Maybe in a way, I guess.
Oh yeah, what?
So,
We
like-
forgot all about the rollerball game or whatever.
The rollerball.
The
That one actually kind of looks cool.
The one that's supposed to take over Rocket League.
Good luck.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's
Something you
It's
try
like
with
roller
Apex.
derby.
it's like roller derby,
Yeah,
but
I know what roller derby is.
it's like roller derby.
It's a
It's that.
circle.
It's what are you doing with your hand?
It's in a circle.
Okay, you're
You're-
circling.
You skate around in a circle,
Yeah, and
go
then
for a
you,
ball, and you try to. Yeah.
then you throw the ball
anyways,
into,
Madden-
into the hoop, and then you hope you
Supposedly,
score
They
points.
haven't really announced anything,
More
but they're
points
trying.
than the other team because that's how the game is played.
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
That
They
game will
will
probably
just
have
go with
skins.
bike. Yeah. So, and supposedly they're adding on to their franchise mode, which they haven't really expanded on in the last years.
Yeah, but
The game doesn't change. The only thing that
They
seems like a change.
slowly they add on and they keep stuff and they slowly add, and it's just like never ending.
No,
What I think it does is that it fixes rosters that are being updated, right? Like what what are they adding to franchise mode that is different from what it was the last 4 games?
They've only
self-insertion.
announced that they're working on upgrading the franchise mode.
Which would be
'Cause-
what?
They haven't really announced much,
Right.
just that they're working.
What
on,
do you think that they could improve on?
I
Thank
don't
you.
know. There's a lot of stuff they can. The way you,
all I want is NFL Blitz back, and then I'm fine. Where I can just
that would
I
be
don't
a cool mode.
right like if you just had that mode in the game.
It'll never happen.
If you could do that where I could tackle somebody before they even have the ball, it's great.
It'll never happen. The way the sports works out is that there's one of each game now, and nobody can stop them.
I know it's sad
It really is.
because
NFL or NBA Street Volume 2 was one of the best games of all time. Fight me on the streets if I'm wrong.
what about NBA Jam?
No,
He's heating up.
no,
He's on fire.
no.
He's going all the way.
Shut up and jam daddy. Anyways, no. So again,
And supposedly there was talk of like this is just EA, but EA is trying to get NCAA their NCAA
damn.
license back.
they are monsters. I hate that company. They are absolute monsters.
Well, NCAA football was like one of
Right, but
It's-
why did they not have them make that game anymore?
Because they can't do it because
player
of
likeness
player likeness because the
and
players
college
can't get
players
paid.
weren't
Exactly.
getting paid.
So,
But that's why they're trying to figure out a way that they could either pay players or figure something out. So I don't know.
Maybe
no,
I
I
just
I
heard that that's
understand.
what.
I understand. You just
Maybe
heard
it goes
from her.
towards the
It
scholarship
does
as a kid.
not work. It's EA getting more money.
True.
To one another sports, and that's not a bad thing. Video games,
EA wants more money. What's wrong with that?
everything.
They're a poor
so there's
company.
There's a reason why
If they
there's
don't
already-
have money, they're going to be on the streets
they
soon.
need to be on
And
the
they
streets.
they
There's
need to
already
be
a group of-
and like one of those Sarah McLaughlin videos where they're like sad and they're like, please give me some. Yeah.
Set it on fire. What were you gonna say?
There are already
Oh,
there
No,
are
he's singing
already
a song. It's great.
modders that have modded this last year's Madden into college.
That's fine. It's different, and the only reason why I say that is because it's like I think it's just because I have a very hot disdain for EA.
And he hates sports ball.
They just EA is like the cause of so many video game problems. Like, when was the last time we had like a good Need for Speed? Answer was Most Wanted.
No, I would say the Underground. Like,
Right.
Most Wanted was
Xavier,
so good.
but here's the thing: you're not
because they
getting
went story
without
like that.
EA, you wouldn't know that there was problems in these games.
I don't want there to be problems in these games.
Like if EA wasn't producing these games, then they would have been produced better. And you need to have something to complain about.
Like, I know what you're doing, and it's still triggering me anyway.
You're not wrong.
See? Thank you. Are we ready to wrap this one up?
Are we done? Oh yeah, look at that. All right. Last words.
I thought we were
Wow, looks like the last hour of audio hasn't been recording.
Yeah, it's fine. Last words?
I hate you all.
I think those are good last words.
E3.
Sucked.
2019.
Sucked.
A bummer.
Yeah.
We'll
All
see.
right.
Nutshell.
We'll see what the sequel E4 does for us.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not done by EA.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. I blame Nate still again for the podcast not coming out. And until next time, goodbye.
Thank you for listening to the Nailed It Podcast. If you like it, please subscribe to all our social media. Our Facebook is at the Nailed It Podcast. Our Twitter is the Nailed It Pod. Also look for us on Patreon. Thank you for listening.